Hey guys, it's me, John, aka Mr. Gray, and today I'm going to be bringing you something a little bit different. So, as promised on some of my lives, we're going to be focusing on a little bit of spell work today. I definitely have some catching up to do with my own personal spell work that I do, and I wanted to give you guys a behind the scene look at how I do my spells. So, as titled in the video, this is going to be a money manifestation or prosperity candle spell. And out of all the types of magic that we can do, candle spells is probably one of my most favorite magics, simply because you can make it as simple or as complex and ritualistic as you would like it to be. It's really all the intention that you put into it and how you design the spell that is going to make it work and make it feel right for you. So before we get started, I'm going to give you guys a list of everything that I have to work with today and what we are going to do here with this spell. So stay tuned. So I'm giving you guys a closer look at the materials that we're going to be using today. I apologize that you can't see my face, but I want you to have a clear view of the altar. So I have my altar set up the same way that it's always set up, except for different sabbats, S-bots, things like that. So what we're going to be working with today, the very most important thing when it comes to candle magic is the candle. So I've got a nice size pillar candle here, no markings on it, plain and bare. And we're going to be using this for the money spell, simply because it's the color green. It's a nice size, so this is going to take a while to burn, which puts more energy, more power into the spell work that you'll be doing. This is not Palo Santo. This is actually my Florida water that I've put into this bottle. And I like to cleanse everything that I use before the spell to rid it of any kind of previous energy. You've got everybody walking through the stores, touching the candles, and picking up heaven knows what. So we will be using this Florida water to literally wet, bathe, and cleanse every material that we'll be using. I'll be dressing the candle with my selenite blessing oil. This is an oil made by me, one of many, and it's got selenite and a whole bunch of blessing herbs that bring about prosperity, abundance, good health. It can be used in any green magic, any white magic spells to bless and empower your candle. We're also going to be using a selection of herbs, and yes, I actually get a lot of my herbs from the dollar store. It is cheap, and it makes a good, inexpensive way to always have herbs on hand to use for your spells. So some of what we'll be using is we'll be using bay leaves, we'll be using basil, oregano, thyme, garlic, cinnamon, and we'll be using some anise seed and Himalayan pink salt as well. I have got my mortar and pestle to grind and put all my herbs together, and I'll show you why later, because I like to imbue the herbs into the candle after it has been carved. Speaking of carving, I have my working knife. This is not the athame for the altar, but it is the knife that you use to do all of your magical workings. And I'll be using this to carve everything I want to in my candle and get it all set. We also have a mirror, because I'll be doing this candle spell on top of a mirror today, because we really want to magnify the energy of the spell and draw everything into its own reflection. We'll be using 4 quartz crystal points pointed inward towards the candle to draw all that energy in. I have got some pre-cut paper set somewhere that I'm going to be using for my petition. And a petition is a note, a wish, a desire, or a prayer that's written on paper and placed under your candle. And I'm actually going to be incorporating 3 tarot cards into my spell. Yes, you can use tarot to manifest the energy that you want. So for these tarot cards, I have got the Magician, which symbolizes the magic that we're putting in to cast a spell. We've got the Wheel of Fortune to bring about good energies, prosperity, and quicker money flow. And then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, because that's what we want, right? We want this financial windfall. We want this money to come in with the spell work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the actual spell. The first thing that I really like to do with any of my spell work, of course, is to cleanse the space and set the intention of the spell that we're going to do. Environment is everything, so of course it's very important to eliminate any distractions, putting your cell phone away, turning on Do Not Disturb, and making sure that no one's going to be knocking at your door. When we're at our altar, I always set an incense, and I'm using a cedarwood incense cone today. It puts me in a very calming and relaxed state of mind, and I am just going to set that on the altar to get the energy flowing. Very first thing that I will be doing today is cleansing my space. I like to use my bare hands for everything, and as you see, I am just misting my workspace, the silver tray, with Florida water, and we're setting this with the intention of clearing any previous energy, any previous magical workings, any energy that may have been put up in the room. And once we've got that in, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, and I'm going to run this through the smoke of the cedarwood just to give it a little extra cleansing and reset the energy for the spell. We're going to go ahead and do the same with our mirror here. And I'll probably end up having to wipe the mirror with a towel that I bought up for my hands. And we'll get to that too. We're going to use that for the oils. After we anoint the candle, we want to be able to cleanse ourselves and not get oil on everything else. So, the intention of clearing this mirror of any previous energies, getting everything cleansed and set for the occasion. With my crystals have already been cleansed, but I am going to take these and I'm just going to run these through the smoke of the incense as well. Smoke is a very powerful way of cleansing negative energy and imbuing it with the intent that you want it to be focused on. The reason I'm using clear quartz today is because clear quartz can be used in anything. It doesn't have to be a specific crystal. Quartz will amplify whatever energy that you are putting into it or that you're putting into the spell. Next, we're going to go ahead and cleanse our candle, just ridding it of any previous energies that it may have picked up from the factory it was made in, from the store that it was sitting in, and any energies that I may have been carrying the day that I picked this up. Who knows? Maybe there was bad traffic, maybe something was getting on my nerves, and we want to remove that energy, cleanse it, and reset this candle. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and pass these tarot cards through the smoke of the incense, clear them of any readings that they have done, any energies that they have encountered in the previous days, and pass this incense through the whole workspace. And it smells beautiful, guys. I love cedarwood. Alrighty, so everything that we will be using today has been cleansed and is ready for the spell to begin. Okay guys, so in the essence of time, I have gone ahead and done a couple things off camera. So as you notice, candles have been lit to set the energy. I also have invoked my patron goddess Hecate to be present during this magical working. Another thing that I've done, and it's one of the most important steps, is to get into a meditative state of mind. I have focused my intention and exactly what it is that I wish to manifest into this spell. I have already started imbuing the candle with some of my energy, just visualizing it filling with white light and filling with the intention of what it shall bring. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start carving my candle. And I'm going to carve this candle with some of the symbols. And you want to be very, very careful using a knife as a pen, okay? But I'm going to start carving this candle with some of the symbols that have significance to me for manifesting money, for bringing in prosperity and financial abundance. One of the main symbols that I use on almost all of my magical workings is the pentagram, because the pentagram for me is a symbol of the magic that's being cast regardless of what you're doing. In this case, the pentagram is actually a symbol of the money, the coins, and the finances that we are drawing in. So that is the first thing that we have on our candle. Next thing I'm going to put on either side of this, and you'll have to excuse my crappy artwork because carving candles is an art and it is hard to do, but the intention is everything. So if it's not the prettiest thing in the world, do not trip over that. Do not worry about it, because you know what it is and Spirit knows what it is. So on either side of this candle, I am literally putting dollar signs. This resembles the money that we're manifesting. In this case, US currency. Thinking about our intent for this the whole time. And I'm just dusting off the excess shavings of wax. And this is what we have. So on the back of this candle, a little bit more personal, so I'm not going to show you everything. I'm going to encarve my complete name, my date of birth, and I am going to put the name of my business, Gray Witch Tarot LLC, because that is how my money is going to come through. With spell work, you do want to be as specific as you possibly can. You're letting the energy know where it needs to come in and how this needs to come in for you. So I'm going to go ahead and engrave these things in the back of the candle, and we'll be right back. So I've gone ahead and I have finished engraving everything that I wish to engrave on this candle. I feel that it is 100% set and it's 100% ready to go. So the next stage of this spell is going to be anointing your candle. So what I'm going to do here, and I have to be careful with this decanter, is I'm going to give this a good shake. I want to mix up all the herbs that are already present in this oil, as well as the disintegrated selenite chips that are in it as well. We want all of that beautiful, transformative, positive energy to go into this candle. Now, there's many methods that you can use to anoint. Some people prefer to anoint up to draw in, to anoint down to take away. It really depends on your intentions and what you feel best serves you. So me, I literally like to just rub the candle down. It lets me be a lot more free with the magic that I'm doing and the energy that I'm putting into it. And this whole time that I am rubbing this candle down, covering every inch, every little bit, getting inside of the engravings, I am still picturing it glowing with white energy. I am visualizing the intent of the spell, and I am seeing it come true. And this is how manifestation works. I am seeing the money coming in. I am seeing the business picking up. And I am picturing an exact dollar amount that is coming in as a result of this spell. So we've got the candle set. And the purpose of the cloth I was telling you about is to get it off of our hands and to keep our hands clean so the whole altar does not get covered with oil. So now is the fun part. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and create an herbal blend. Instead of applying all the herbs separately, I'm doing them all at the same time. You want to focus on the intention of the herbs that you use. What do they mean for you? How do they make you feel? And what magical properties do they have? So the first thing that I'm putting in here is I'm putting in anise seed. This is going to do two things for my spell work. So the anise seed for my spell work, it is going to draw in prosperity. It's going to draw in money, financial abundance. It is also going to amplify my powers into the spell. And I used a couple pinches that we have in there, if you guys can see that. Next thing, I have a blend of sage, thyme, oregano, and basil. And these all have different properties for prosperity, for good luck, for increased money flow. And you guys should smell this. It just smells so amazing. Obviously, I've also put paper down. We're going to use that to catch the herbs and to try to avoid a big mess on the silver platter that I just cleaned. I'm going to next be adding some bay leaves to the spell. Bay leaves are very good for success, clearing away blockages, and amplifying the energy of any magical work. And you'll notice that a couple of the herbs that I use are all to amplify the energy of the magic, to make the spell stronger, because I'm wanting this to move quick, okay? I have a specific date that I would like to achieve this by, and a specific amount of money minimum that I want to achieve by a certain date, all right? So we're going to be adding cinnamon next. And cinnamon is more so for business success in the intention of this spell work, success through my business, to amplify clients, to amplify revenue that is coming in as a result. The next thing that I'm going to add to this spell, I already have available on my altar, is Himalayan pink salt. And I'm adding the pink salt because it is going to clear away any blockages that are preventing money from coming through, whether self-imposed or from an outside source. It is also going to provide protection to protect the energy that is coming to me, to make sure that it is coming with good intentions and hurting nobody, and to also protect my spell work if anybody is wanting to make things not happen. And I'm going to go ahead, imbuing this with my energy, imbuing this with my intent, mix up this herbal blend, mix up this magic. Putting my intention into this, visualizing and seeing the spell come to be. Like I say repetitively, guys, is that magic is all intent. No matter what you're doing, even if you're just lighting a tea light, it is all about the intent and the energy that you're putting into it and your belief in it. Okay, you have to believe that it will happen. You have to believe that this is working. And the magic has started from the moment you've begun to spell. So we have our herbal mixture here ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, my favorite part, and I really like doing this, is I'm literally going to pour out this herbal mixture onto this paper here, giving a nice little coating all the way down the length of the paper. And we're going to save a little bit in this jar. You'll see why in a moment. Let's go ahead and put him up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our dressed candle that is still wet with oil, and I'm simply going to roll the candle through the herbs. And I kind of want to press a little bit firmly on this to make sure that it picks up, it sticks into the wax. It is picking up all of those herbs, all of the energy, all of the magical properties to put into this spell. I'm going to do this a couple times because I really want the candle coated. Now, something else I do after this, usually, I don't have it today, I will sprinkle the candle with glitter, okay? Because Spirit loves everything that is shiny, that is pretty, just like we like pretty things. Spirit likes that too. But I'm feeling like this is pretty gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully get this paper up without spilling herbs everywhere. And we got plenty left over, so I can actually use these herbs to incorporate in the rest of the spell, or maybe make a prosperity money jar to go along with it. And this paper is just gonna go to the trash. So I'm gonna go ahead in this next part, and we're going to set our mirror in our workspace. And remember, the purpose of this mirror is to draw in all the energies of the spell. It literally amplifies everything that's coming out of it. It also draws it in through the reflection, okay? And I'm going to take some of those leftover herbs, and I am going to dust the top of this candle, putting the intent and the energy of this magic into the herbs. What's beautiful is if you go a little bit heavy on top, as the candle melts, the herbs will fold into the wax. All right, guys, we are getting close. We're getting really close to this spell being complete. So I have created a petition. So a petition is a note to Spirit. It is a letter of what you wish to accomplish, what you're putting into the spell, any specific information, any way that you're visualizing and intending for this to happen, okay? And what I'm going to do, since this is a money spell and we're trying to draw things to us, I am going to fold the paper threefold, but I am folding it towards myself. And the reason I'm folding it towards myself is I'm going to draw that energy into me, okay? So now we're a little wide. That's 2 folds, pretty thin. So clockwise, and then fold it into myself one more time. This is drawing the things in. And I'm going to lift the candle, place this petition under the candle, and we are set. So the finishing touches that I'm going to add to this spell is I'm going to take these 4 crystals that we have. And these crystals I have charged, I have put the energy into with the same intention that we're doing with this spell. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each point pointed in towards the candle, and I am going to place them around the candle clockwise, pointed in, and it's literally directing the energy up into the candle and out through the flame. So we have our crystal set. I am feeling the need to always follow your intuition, to do a tiny dusting of these herbs around the mirror itself, around the candle itself. Some to fall on the crystals is perfect, just to draw this energy, these properties into the spell. And the very last thing I'm doing, very carefully, is I'm going to place these 3 tarot cards at the bottom of the spell. And I want these away from the candle so none of the wax is going to touch them. There's no chance of fire touching these cards or anything catching. So we have these placed. Magician for making this happen, for manifesting, for putting this energy into the spell and drawing the things that we want from the universe. The Wheel of Fortune to bring in fortune, to increase the energy and how fast this happens. The Ten of Pentacles being exactly what we want. We want that financial windfall. We want that money. We want that security to come in. So now is going to be your time where you're going to once again meditate on this. You're going to take in everything that is setting from you. You're putting the energy, the intention into this candle to fill it up until it can't take any more, okay? And the way that a candle spell works is you put all this energy into it the whole time. You're putting all of your intent into it this whole time. Once you light the candle, and as that candle is burning, that energy is burning up with the fire. It's going out into the universe, creating a ripple to bring into you what you're putting out. So I have meditated on my goals. I have meditated on the spell. And now is time to light the candle and bring that money in. And it's okay if you run into a problem where your candle or your lighter does not work for you, because we do have backup. Once your candle is lit, I encourage you to sit with it for a few minutes, however long you prefer, to focus on your intent to visualize this spell coming to life. And there we have it, guys. We have our complete follow-along money manifestation prosperity candle spell provided for you. So you can literally follow along to this. If you want to use different herbs in your spell than I used, if you want to use different elements, maybe different crystals that feel better to you, if you want to try incorporating your tarot or using different cards, it is all up to your intent. You can literally make this as simple or as ritualistic as you like, but that is how I do my spell work. Now, of course, with fire, I'm going to be staying in this room the whole time that this candle is burning down, and that's probably going to be a few hours. So that'll be where I'm doing my lives, private readings, things of that nature, all while keeping my eye on the spell and keeping energy on the spell. Just to clear up a few things that new witches run into, a few questions, because this stuff is not normally covered in the videos provided on YouTube or in things that you can find online. If you have to step away from your candle, okay? It is perfectly okay to snuff it out. Never blow your candle out. That's disrespectful. It's perfectly okay to snuff a candle out with the intention that you're just putting it on pause, that the spell is not ended, and you can come back and you can relight that. A lot of people ask, what do you do once your spell is done? You have the wax left over, you have a lot of the herbs left over, things of that. Anything that is disposable, I would discard of outside. I would bury it at a crossroads, or I would put it in running water. Anything returning it to the earth. This would be your herbs, yes, your wax drippings, sorry, and any remnants that are left over. Of course, your crystals, your tarot cards, your mirror, things like that, those can be cleansed and used for different purposes and incorporated into future spells. So never discard of something that is not a one-time use. Always discard of your candles. Always discard of the herbs that were with your candles when you're using those in your spell work. If your candle goes out on its own, relight it. Okay? If your candle is burning funny and your wick is leaning towards one side, you can move it. You can move the wick and redirect the way that the candle is burning down. That's why it's called working. Working a spell, working a candle. The spell is not done when you light the candle. It is done when everything has finished and the flame has put itself out. So let me know how you guys like this video. Please comment below with any thoughts that you have, any questions, maybe any videos that you want to see in the future. And yes, this is the introduction to some upcoming events, such as classes on how to do proper spell work with candle magic, jar magic, puppet magic, all kinds of stuff that will be coming. There will be classes available taught by me, a real witch who knows what he's talking about. So, have a blessed day, guys, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.